Wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you on this Monday, December 16th. So good to have you with us for another Morning Barbados presentation. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock. So I definitely have to start by saying season's greetings or Merry Christmas, because we definitely are in the spirit. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to move around the country, but when we see Sunday shopping here in Barbados, we know there's definitely something happening. Morning Barbados is brought to you with the kind compliments of Jordan's Supermarket. They're at 4 convenient locations, one on the west coast at Fitzvillage. They're up north in St. Peter. They're also at 2 central locations in Bridgetown at Fairchild Street, and they're also located at Baxter's Road. So make Jordan Supermarket your top choice for high quality products and excellent customer service. Visit any of their 4 locations. That's right, to be a part of the big promotion now on Shop Now to enter the Spend and Eat competition. How about that? Get a chance to win $100,000 in free groceries, plus a large screen TV could be yours. There are TVs to be won every single month. Plus, this is all you have to do is enter. To enter, spend $50 in cash or more, and for each $50, you get an entry form. Fill it in, drop it into the boxes provided at the supermarket where you shopped, and each week they're going to be drawing 5 $200 grocery vouchers. So you could be a winner in that particular part of the competition. That runs until the end of January. The big draw, the final draw, they're going to draw every single Wednesday. The final one is going to be the first Wednesday in February. So go follow them at Jordan Supermarket BB on Instagram or jordansupermarketbb.com. Coming up on today's show, we have lots of people passing through. We're going to be doing some decorating for the Christmas season. Plus, we have the legendary Winston Farrell spending a little bit of time with us. We're going to tell you all about a project that is seeking to kind of bridge the gap with games and literacy. People are asking you to bring out all of your old board games to help some children with their literacy. And we are also going to be telling you all about what you can expect this Christmas season. But we wanted to start with something that is in the news, and I know we have lots of questions all about it. So we've been hearing about a new virus out here, and the gentleman we go to when there's any such thing happening is Dr. Kirk Douglas, who is director of the Center for Biosecurity Studies at UWI. So let's say a special good morning and welcome to Dr. Douglas. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbadians.
All right. Good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining us. Now, we're hearing about the Oropouche virus. If you can start by giving us a little background on exactly what it is and whether it's something new or is something that's kind of re-emerged.
Okay, sure, no problem. Oropouche virus it isn't necessarily new. It may be new to most persons because they probably never heard of the virus before. But this is a virus that was actually discovered in Trinidad and Tobago, funny enough, in 1955. Since then, there have been sporadic outbreaks, mainly in South America. So that's why in the Caribbean, we haven't necessarily paid too much attention to it. So it would be considered a re-emerging infectious disease. However, one of the key problems with this particular virus is that the clinical manifestations are similar to Zika in terms of the negative impacts it can have on unborn children and also on very young children as well. And these are the congenital abnormalities that can occur if a pregnant mother is infected during her pregnancy with Oropouche. And because it's so, I guess, rare in the context of mosquito-borne viruses within the Caribbean, it can be easily missed if you are, let's say, you're a doctor or you're a patient. You may suspect that it's dengue because the symptoms are very, very similar to dengue. And so, what has happened, I think, throughout the Caribbean, particularly in Barbados, is that the level of surveillance and also the level of suspicion has increased. And so the laboratory diagnostic capacity, this is the ability of the lab to be able to test for it. Because if you don't test for it, you won't know that it's there. And so the two cases that you see in Barbados is actually due to the really good work that the Ministry of Health and Wellness have done. They've heeded the call for increased surveillance. And because of that increased surveillance, what you're seeing now is that you're able to detect. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because if you're pregnant and you really want to find out if you're infected, then it's good to know ahead of time. But it's even better not to become infected at all. And so what I would strongly recommend, especially during this Christmas season as people go around, is that you make sure that you protect yourself from mosquito bites and also sandfly bites, because this virus, unlike dengue and unlike Zika and chikungunya, is also spread by sandflies or what is called midges. So it's very important to be able to protect oneself.
Now, you mentioned that there are some similarities in terms of the clinical manifestation. Let's just mention what those similarities are so that people know exactly what to look out for.
Sure, no problem. So these would include headaches, fever, and what you call retroorbital pain, because sometimes right behind the back of your eyes is aching. That's what you call retroorbital pain. It could be malaise, it could be vomiting, also abdominal pain. That those are the clinical symptoms that you would really associate with dengue. Well, obviously, dengue has a more severe form where you have bleeding of the gums, you have bleeding on your skin where you can actually see patches of blood. So that's really a distinction between Oropouche and dengue. But the classic dengue symptoms and Oropouche fever are very, very similar. So if you feel that way, it would be best to go to the doctor and have them, take care of you.
Outside of mothers, I know you mentioned that there could be some congenital defects if expectant mothers, contract the virus somehow whilst they're pregnant. What about other sects of society, different people? Who will you say are the people who are most vulnerable to the Oropouche virus?
Yes, there are other vulnerable subpopulations that you would consider. For instance, the elderly, the very young as well, and even people who are immunocompromised as well. These would be the classic, populations that have that level of vulnerability that you'll be able to protect. And by and large, Oropouche fever is not as deadly. Most people who become infected with Oropouche won't have a severe course of disease course. So the important thing is that, yes, this virus is here. You want to protect yourself. But in the event that you are infected, more than likely you will not suffer a severe course of infection, but that doesn't mean that you won't. So you will be basically, playing Russian roulette, more or less, and you don't want to give it a chance. So the best thing to do would be to protect yourself, especially those empty lots that are around your home. See if you can activate the Ministry of Health and Wellness to be able to get them cleared. I mean, obviously, you're going to have people coming over, or you may be going out, but just in general, keep around you clean and tidy. And this is important to reduce the breeding of mosquito and these biting midges.
I know that you mentioned that the game changer really, or in the fact that based strictly on the testing that is done, is of utmost importance. And that's how we found out earlier this month that there are indeed 2 cases in Barbados that have been noted so far. At what stage would you say someone should probably escalate if they're feeling some of these symptoms? It might not be too bad, or on the other side of it, they might feel they need to go to a doctor who might not necessarily recommend that they have the test done for Oropouche. So at what stage would you say someone should escalate and ask about getting the test done?
Well, I think for any doctor visit, if you have a concern, you should discuss it with your doctor, and you can have that conversation, especially if you're pregnant or you have persons within your household also that are pregnant. Because the thing is that this is a mosquito-borne virus. So if you have the virus, but there's someone in your household who may be pregnant, or you may visit persons who are pregnant, then you actually are increasing their risk of potentially becoming infected as well. So it's also good to understand your network, who you interact with, and what's the likely exposure risk that would be posed if you, for instance, are infected and you come into contact with this person, because an infected mosquito can bite you, become infected, and then bite that pregnant person. So it's just to have a level of awareness and to be able to protect those around you and also protect yourself. So we are hoping that the number of cases won't be that high, but it takes the effort to put in to achieve that as well.
Now, I know there are a number of people who have allergies, particularly to sandflies, and we're not accustomed to hearing about things like sandflies spreading viruses in this way. So when we look at it in that context, what are some of the ways that we can work to protect ourselves? Is there a special type of insect repellent that we should use outside of trying to keep your area clear and free of water in areas that it could store up to breed mosquitoes? What else can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, I will start with the outside first, and then I'll deal with the personal protection. But if you can just take a walk around your home, if you have a well or you have septic tanks or even your grease trap, and there's a gap where things can get down into the grease trap, or the what we would call the underground or subterranean area that can collect water, then that's where particularly Culex mosquitoes like to breed. And they breed prolifically because there's a lot of organic matter that's there that the larvae can consume. They come up bigger, faster, and stronger. And people are not aware that the mosquitoes are actually there on their property and they're breeding. So that is one thing. And try to see how you can either seal it or modify it so that you can reduce the risk of mosquitoes going in there to breed. Then you have water tanks, to be able to ensure that your water tanks, the integrity is sound, and that you don't have the case where mosquitoes are going in there to breed. Then if you look within your gutters, make sure those are clear as well. So these are areas where mosquitoes predominantly breed. And this is not only for Oropouche, but this is any mosquito-borne virus. Then if you're looking for yourself, your home, make sure if you have insect screens that they are the integrity is also sound. You don't have any holes in it, because then mosquitoes can come in if you open your windows. And then finally, utilizing the insect repellent is also another layer of protection that you can use. And anything that has in DEET, DEET, or Picardin, these are very, very effective, more than lately, for these types of insects.
All right, we're going to continue this conversation with Dr. Douglas after this break. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
94.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited and the Cut and Drive Network brings live coverage of Cricket West Indies Home Series October 31st to December 19th. Join the action, brought to you by Great Health Works, agents for Omega.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 6:20. Welcome back to Morning Barbados. We are joining up with Dr. Kirk Douglas, who is Director of the Center for Biosecurity Studies at UWI. Now, we started in the first segment to kind of lay the groundwork to tell you what the disease Oropouche, the virus Oropouche is, and, you know, where does this come from, so the early origins, and we told you, I think you would have heard it if you've been listening to the news, that there have been 2 confirmed adult cases here in Barbados. So we're talking with Dr. Douglas about all the ways that we need to protect ourselves. I would like to get into the midges at this point in time, though, Dr. Douglas. I think that's what's concerning me even more than the mosquitoes. We understand the challenges that come with the mosquitoes, but are there any specific ways that we can make sure we're in different places to avoid these so-called sandflies, which are now bringing the virus as well?
Well, I think the same tenets that come from good mosquito vector management go into play with sandflies. Obviously, sandflies are also present at the beach areas, but you can also find them on farms as well. They're culicoides, and that's the scientific name for the biting midges that have been present in Barbados for quite a long time. They've actually transmitted other viruses that don't infect humans, but do infect ruminants such as goats and sheep. And we've had blue tongue virus in the 80s, in the 90s in Barbados that were detrimental to, sheep and goat farmers. But that being said, the important thing to understand is that it starts with you as an individual, how you are aware of the risk, how you then act to reduce those risks. I know the Ministry of Health is also aware of the risk, and they will be doing what is necessary to be able to help to bring these populations of vectors under control. What we have also been trying to do at the Center for Biosecurity Studies is to drive innovation, because whilst we are commenting on the problem, we don't only want to stop there. We also want to be part of the solution. And what we've been doing, and this is since 2022, through a really groundbreaking program at the KFIL campus. There's a program called the Innovate KFIL. And this is a program where students and staff, they can enter a competition, they can bring their innovative idea to bear and have it judged. And based on the response from the judges, then they can get a level of support. And this is ably supported by First Caribbean. They're the major sponsor of this. So the first iteration was in 2022. And we entered our our innovative idea, through the Faculty of Social Sciences as part of the faculty's entrepreneurship committee. And we actually won an award for the most promising innovation. And this was for our product, which is called REST. And the REST stands for Renewable Energy Powered Silent Terminator. And what it is a mosquito and a sandfly trap. It attracts the mosquito to the trap, and it keeps it there, dehydrates it until it's dead. And so you don't have to use the harmful chemicals that is often used in vector control to be able to get rid of the mosquitoes or the sandflies. Is actually utilizing and leveraging the biology, the natural biology of the vector to be able to bring it to where you need it to be and then to eliminate it without using any harsh chemicals. And this helps to reduce insecticide resistance, because this is something that you'll find across the world that is growing because of trade. Because when you trade containers, you trade other goods, you increase the risk of introducing new species or new genotypes of these vectors. And they can come along with insecticide resistance as well, which can actually help to reduce the effectiveness of your vector control. So this is looking at climate change as a whole and saying we know that things will not get any better anytime soon because of El Nino. What we've seen, particularly during 2024, I believe it was the PAHO director who mentioned that the cases of dengue were exceeding, I think, almost exceeded 12 million. And this is actually up from 2023. And also the same thing with Oropouche. I think there are almost 8,000 cases of Oropouche within the Americas, and before there were less than 1,000. So what you're seeing is a dynamic shift, an increase in risk, and we have to become creative in terms of how we're going to be able to mitigate those risks. And we're trying to see if we can get those mosquito traps and sandfly traps available for purchase, hopefully within the first quarter of 2025, because we want to really help persons to protect themselves and protect the properties that they have, because this also has application for the tourism industry. For instance, within resorts, and you want to create an environment that is devoid or free of mosquitoes and sandflies, having a series of these traps around your property running 24/7 has been proven to be very effective in reducing the biting incidents, because we know when tourists come, they're often, assaulted by these mosquitoes and sandflies. You can then enhance your visitors' experience here on your resorts. So we're pushing really hard to see how we can get that done.
Happy to hear that you're close to bringing rest to market, and we look forward to hearing much more about that. We agree that prevention is much better than cure, but are there any, for example, treatments or antiviral medication that can be used in the treatment of this virus specifically?
Well, for Oropouche is the orthobunia virus. There are some antivirals that would be effective against most viruses, but at present there are not any really strong advocated antivirals for this particular disease. There's not even a vaccine as well for this virus, and so the therapeutic options are very, very limited, other than clinical support. So this is why we are really advocating for vigilance, increased surveillance, so that and you're on top of it from the get-go, so that the doctors can be able to manage these cases a lot more effectively. And the interesting thing about Oropouche as well, being an orthobunia virus, is that it's segmented. Now that may not mean a lot to most persons, but what it means is that the genome of the virus has 3 different parts. And because of this, most viruses that are segmented are prone to go through a process called reassortment. And viruses can mutate in 2 major ways, either by slight mutations or rapid drastic mutations like reassortment. Influenza is another segmented virus that does that, and that leads to what we call antigenic drift, which means that the virus changes the outer coating drastically. So whilst you may be accustomed to one virus, then it can drastically change. So that is one of the concerns, particularly about Oropouche, because of the nature of the actual virus. And that's why surveillance is very important, being able to sequence the virus and to understand what is going on. The other thing that we are also looking to do is to understand what vectors within Barbados will be transmitting Oropouche, because we already have human cases. But what we don't know, and the gaps are, what are the vectors that are involved in the transmission and also potentially the maintenance of Oropouche in Barbados. If you look at Cuba, for instance, Cuba has had an outbreak of Oropouche, but they lack one of the main vectors of Oropouche, which is the Culocoides pariensis, but yet still they have a major outbreak. So it then shows us that within the Caribbean, even though you may not have a particular major vector for Oropouche, that outbreaks can still occur. And then you need to understand the local infection cycle, the transmission cycle, what are the players involved, and then how you can then effectively manage the vectors that are involved. So there's a lot of work to be done. We're hoping that we can get some support, some funding support, that we can roll out those research programs that will be necessary. And we also have our research programs that have been approved. So we are welcoming master's and PhD students to contact us at 417-7467, and you can inquire about our research programs. And soon we'll also have our MSc program, our Taught Masters, which is going to be very exciting. A new look at risk management, especially biological risk, and we want to then equip and increase the capacity within the Caribbean and also globally for new ways of thinking of how we can effectively tackle infectious diseases.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us, making this time for us this morning, Dr. Kirk Douglas, Director of the Center for Biosecurity Studies at the University of the West Indies. And I would imagine all that's left to say is for us to urge everyone to be very careful and mindful of how they keep their surroundings and where they go at this time. Also, of any of the symptoms that you noted, so that they can check in with their regular doctors if need be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and look forward to REST2 in 2025 as well.
Absolutely, at a great price point and widespread distribution. I think it would work well.
Yes, thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Have a great Christmas
And you.
a great holiday season. Thank you.
All right. Again, Dr. Kirk Douglas. Just be mindful as you move around. I know there's lots of bush these days, lots of rainfall going on. So it can be a little difficult to kind of keep the grass and so on down, but you want to make sure you make those checks. If you're just checking in with us, there's a new virus out. There have been 2 confirmed cases, adult cases here in Barbados. It's called the Oropouche virus, and it is spread by both the mosquito and the sandfly. So you have to be careful. It's 6:31. It's time for a break here on Morning Barbados, but we'll be right back with lots more. Remember, Morning Barbados is brought to you with the compliments of Jordan's Supermarket.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics, Guardian General Insurance Limited, and the Cut and Drive Network brings live coverage of Cricket West Indies Home Series October 31st to December 19th. Join the action, brought to you by Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics, Guardian General Insurance Limited. Live safe, live easy, and the Cut and Drive Network.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
94.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited and the Cut and Drive Network brings live coverage of Cricket West Indies Home Series October 31st.
3 and answer a simple question and you could win a fantastic prize. It is that simple. Now, one of the areas that there's been a lot of heavy focus on over the last couple of years certainly has been literacy. We hear a lot about literacy and numeracy, but what does that really mean and how are the children of the region doing? Well, Sharon Warner, who is chairman of the Regional Committee for the International Development in the Caribbean, is joining us this morning to talk to us more about a project that's coming up. But we'd like to start by talking about the Caribbean efforts before we get into all of that. So good morning and welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tishia. The Caribbean arm of the International Literacy Association has been going for approximately 14 to 16 years. We are made up of 5 countries in the Caribbean, and we are one of 7 standing committees for the International Literacy Association. We are called the Committee for International Development in the Caribbean. And as a standing committee of the ILA, we are tasked to carry out their mission, which is ready to promote literacy and do professional development where literacy is concerned. When we're talking about professional development, it's usually directed towards teachers and getting persons more au fait with the cutting-edge strategies related to literacy. However, the local associations, the national associations, have a broader mandate. We also involve the community. In fact, we are actually doing a community course right now. It's been going for 6 years and persons have been asking for this course. And Tisha, when I tell you the demand for this course is high, it is high. We get persons from a wide cross-section of Barbados. We have had lawyers, we've had education officers, we get teachers, we get a little grandma. It's a basic teaching of reading course. And we do that to help carry out our mandate because the education is not only the purview of schools, it involves the community. And when we can get community members more informed about the strategies that they can use to help their charges, to help their wards, when we can get the Sunday school teachers and the Sabbath school teachers using strategies to help the children who they see, we are actually empowering them. And basically that is what we do as members of the ILA. Professional development involve conferences. We have not had a conference for a while. We've had COVID and so on, but we traditionally have put on conferences, and we're hoping that we can start that again. We can start to have our conference. We have had a number of partners from Corporate Barbados in the past, and we're seeking to renew our relationships with them as well, because we can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. We need the support of everyone. We are a charity, and so we have to find ways to raise funds to carry out our mandate.
Now, since you started back in 1956 and you operate in about 5 Caribbean territories, talk to us about the specific needs of each country that you move to, because even though we have so many similarities, I know when it comes to the structure of education, how it's delivered, and some of the areas that children might be having challenges that you would want to, as a regional body, collectively work on, might differ as you move across the islands.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the Caribbean, the chairmanship moves from country to country, and this year Barbados has been handed the chairmanship in the form of myself, and I'll be chairman for the next 2 to 3 years. But we have more in common with respect to literacy than we have differences. What is different is the way in which we carry out our mission. Take Bahamas, for instance. Bahamas is a little bit like Barbados. They were autonomously as a separate institution. In Grenada and St. Vincent, they work very closely with the ministries of education, and we are supposed to do that too. And we have in the past worked with them, but we are autonomous, strictly autonomous. And I think much of the overlap comes because the persons who are heading those associations are also Ministry of Education officials. In Trinidad and Tobago, they work separately from the Ministry of Education, and so they carry out their mandate. Now, some of the tasks that we've had in the past, Trinidad and Tobago, they would have had a literacy project where they go to the mothers and the parents and carry out books and distribute books. In the Bahamas, they do a lot of high academic based activities where they do this assessment of reading. They do quick screeners and let the parents know, so that when persons are going back into schools, the teachers can know exactly where the children are. In St. Vincent, they have a range of activities, especially promotion based activities, getting persons sensitized. Similarly, Grenada. In Barbados, we have done all of those things. We've had marches, we've had displays, we work with our teachers, we've had persons come in and facilitate instructions. I remember sometime in the past, City of Bridgetown allowed us to use their building, and we would have facilitated a development session for the teaching at the secondary level. So we respond basically to the needs of the population, and we plan accordingly. This year, however, we are planning 3 major region-wide activities. One involving parents, but that still has to be fleshed out. The I Love You Carriacou, or we say to Carriacou with Love project. This is the one that we're working on together collaboratively using board games to deal with the trauma-related issues that the children of Carriacou and Petit Martinique are experiencing. We've had this year psychosocial support by going into the shelters in St. Vincent, where we write to the children. We took books for the children, and we had a professional development session for the teachers in St. Vincent, and that was under the last chairmanship of Joycelyn Brown, who is the Deputy Chief in St. Vincent. So we look at the things that are similar, and what we have that is similar are the problems related to reading, which not really a problem just for Barbados, but globally. We do have these challenges. And I guess that's why the ILA exists, because we know we need to support, we need to do research, we need to bring to the attention of parents strategies that can help them.
Make that connection for us with the psychosocial support that you spoke about, that you're hoping to impart through this new upcoming initiative to children in Carriacou.
Well, thank you. Well, when we found out of the dire straits of the children in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we were thinking, what can we do to help? Now, we would have sent books to them and so on. But as I engaged in discussion with the personnel there responsible for the children, we realized that they need help. The persons in St. Vincent who we met, children spoke about running into cupboards, having their siblings and hiding their siblings. And we thought to ourselves, this is serious. These children are really, really scared. And as an adult, I couldn't imagine how it would be for me. And when we found that Carriacou was totally devastated, to be honest, we had an option to go. I said, I don't want to go. Not at that stage. It was very, very raw, because I couldn't deal with seeing that sort of devastation. So we started to talk about trauma, and we found that board games alleviate trauma. They stimulate the hormone, the happy hormone. I can't remember what it's called right now, but that hormone that releases pleasure. They have cognitive benefits. They deal with turn taking, and then we start to delve into looking at board games, primarily literacy-based board games, but any board game. Board games are family related. They get people to sit down and talk to each other, and I did not initially realize the tremendous benefits of board games. But there's another reason that we looked at board games too, because we don't have widespread connection in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So if we want to do something, you have to do something that is practical and that will yield benefits. So if there's no connectivity or widespread connectivity, if we don't have widespread electricity for everyone and so on, what can we do? The board game. The board game can do it, because the children can access them, they can play them anytime. You don't need to have an internet, you don't need to have the electricity, you just need to have the board game.
All right, we'll tell you what, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you exactly how you can be a part of this initiative. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day, and join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back. Morning Barbados is proudly sponsored by Jordan Supermarket. So make sure when you head on out to get everything you need, you make it Jordan Supermarket. 4 convenient locations, so you have no excuses. 2 in Bridgetown, 1 up north, 1 on the west coast. Make it Jordan Supermarket this Christmas and beyond. We're continuing our conversation with Sharon Warner, who is here to talk to us about the work of the Regional Committee for the International Literacy Association, or for the development in the Caribbean.
Yes.
So, kind of tussling, juggling between the two, but I think generally people will understand what we're talking about. And you've now assumed the chairmanship
Yes, I have.
of that organization. In real terms, what does that mean? You know, do you have to move around to the 5 territories that are a part of it? And what do you hope to accomplish for the length of your tenure?
Okay, thanks for asking. Do I have to move around? Not physically, although it would be ideal because there's a cost attached to it. And we do have funding from the ILA, but it's not as much as it used to be. I think everyone is restructuring coming out of COVID. But ideally what it means is that I need to work with the various nations to identify the challenges that they're having with respect to literacy. We're supposed to bring persons together to discuss how we would address these concerns. I am supposed to help implement professional development that would address literacy concerns for the nations that we have under our belt. There used to be more, but some persons have dropped out, so I need to find out what's going on in those territories that are no longer with us and to see what we can do collectively. We have identified for 2025 some webinars, and we will be facilitated by the International Literacy Association, so we do not have to facilitate that ourselves. And promote the International Literacy Association, get persons to know who they are, what the mission is. These are some of the tasks that I've been charged with.
Now let's talk specifically about this project that we're working on. It's targeted initially to young children in Carriacou
and Petit Martinique.
We know out of what happened with Barrel.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that program and what you need as a charity from the general public and I would imagine corporate Barbados alike to be able to try to make this happen.
Well, what do we need? First, we would like to ask Barbadians, I'm asking Barbadians to donate board games, primarily literacy-based board games like Scrabble and so on, but they don't have to be literacy-based because of the benefits of board games for developing cognitive skills in children. We currently have a place where persons can make donation, and I want to thank the principal of Erdiston Teachers Training College. We have had a relationship with Erdiston that's our base for all of our lives, and this principal has maintained the generosity of the college in allowing us to use Erdiston as our base. So persons can they can make donations by dropping off any board games that they have at Erdiston Teachers Training College. But we would hope that Corporate Barbados would come on board and offer us some space to where we can have bins provided where people can make some drops. We're also asking persons to donate to us the games. I am a little negligent here because if persons wanted to make a cash donation, I was trying to remember the account number, but I think it's CIBC. First Caribbeans and the Barbados Association of Reading. That's the name of the account. Primarily, that is the help that you could render to SIDCAR. But we are looking for sponsorship for our activities. And if Corporate Barbados, if you think you can sponsor, we would love to have you. Like I said, in the Barbados chapter, the Barbados Association of Reading, we've had associations in the past with Massey who've been very, very good to us, and we would love to renew our relationship with them.
Okay. Is this a project that will be monitored and shared over time? Or is this a way of giving back to the community so the children can have, these skills and psychosocial skills that come along with learning these board games?
Yes, there's a level of monitoring that will go along and reporting too, because on our Facebook, Read Barbados on Facebook and Instagram, we intend to provide more information and do some reporting to the public about how the project is going. Barbados is kicking off the drive, but the other territories, they're supposed to do the same thing in each of the existing territories that we have. Now, when we talk about psychosocial support, we're looking to see how the games and playing the games are helping to bring an easy situation for those persons, primarily who are still in shelters. But our contact in Carriacou has advised us to have the games placed in the schools so the children can interact, because that is where most of the children would be, and because they're not all in their homes as yet. We do plan based on the number of games we receive that maybe the children can have individual games, but that depends on what we get from our donations. So yes, we would want to monitor to see the impact, but we're not leaving it there. We have planned some professional development as well for our teachers. What we found is initially we couldn't go in. There was no place to stay. There was no place to stay. It was that devastated. And so as the situation becomes a little more improved, we hope to see what we can do.
I know you said that the board games don't necessarily have to be educational in nature, but certainly there must be a few that immediately come to mind that you think might tip the scales a little more in their favor than others.
Yes. Here I am, because I'm getting a blank right now, apart from Scrabble, but there are games that look at developing wordplay, those sort of word-based games that help children. I'm sorry that I'm drawing a blank and I don't have my notes, but if we can have those types of games, those are the games that we would promote. I think we're going to put the list on our Facebook page and on Instagram as well, so people can see the types of games that we're talking about.
Absolutely. I can think of a few.
Help me out.
But, you know, the basic ones that we grew up with, like snakes and ladders, I think they changed it now from, they call it something on shoots. Because I bought a whole bunch of board games for all of the nieces and nephews.
Games like snakes and ladders, yes, they deal with turn taking and helping children to wait their turn. I know the games like Ludo and so on, Monopoly, those sorts of games that gets persons to think critically. But just now I thought you were asking me if we could remember any of the literacy-based ones, which I should have, but somehow I'm drawing a blank. But those general games that persons grow up playing, those are excellent games for children, and they stimulate that happy feeling that they stimulate for persons who play the game. That's what we want, to relieve the trauma, to get persons out there interacting with each other. And as families play the games together, that sort of bonding is what we're hoping to promote. As the children come together and learn how to relate to each other, how to wait a turn, how to be part of a team, these are the sorts of skills that we hope will be developed ultimately.
Unless you're part of my family, because we would play Scrabble or some other board game. They like Monopoly. And listen, they're so competitive, but you know,
even Connect Four.
Yeah,
I was thinking that I was remembering that because I had a reading clinic this summer. I facilitated a reading clinic in Parish and as a community outreach initiative, and I'm here remembering the children, how they love to play the Connect Four and how they would be, and I saw them strategizing and developing, and I remember watching a child who could not play before. After several turns, that child became very, very good at this, understanding the strategy behind what they were doing. So now that I think about it, yes, I could see how it would turn children on to be able to play in these games. And I don't know the prevalence of board game playing anymore. But I think that now that we started to research it, it really is a good thing.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
I most certainly did not know about the organization, and I always tell people that I learn something new on Mornin Barbados every single day. And there's much talk about literacy here in Barbados and across the Caribbean, and it's refreshing to hear that there are organizations that are dedicated to working with our children and our professionals and families alike every single day.
Well, I just wanted to tell you to listen out in 2025 for what we're going to be doing specifically for Barbados and the children who have experienced trauma as well, and for our promotions that will let people know more about the International Literacy Association, more about the Committee for International Development in the Caribbean, and more about the Barbados Association of Reading.
Sharon Warner, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
All right.
You.
And all of those board games that you have sitting at home that you haven't played for years, it's time to get some new ones. Or when you head on out, pick up some other board games and make sure you share them with the Regional Committee for the International Development in the Caribbean of literacy generally. So reach out and be a part of helping some of our Caribbean neighbors who are still reeling from the effects of Hurricane Beryl. All right, it's time for another break. Coming up next, we have the news. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it.
It's Monday, December 16th. It's time now for the morning report here on Morning Barbados. I'm Tisha Hines. History was made yesterday when the luxury super yacht Emerald Sakara, with scores of passengers on board, became the first small cruise vessel to utilize new moorings off Spitestown, St. Peter. Tourism stakeholders are pleased with the development and the commitment to improve the northern town's tourism potential through the arrival of cruise ships. Anesta Henry has that story.
As the sun rose this morning, luxury super yacht Emerald Sakara was sailing towards Spitestown, St. Peter. And the close to 100 guests on board were a part of history as the vessel became the first small cruise ship to utilize the moorings installed off Spitestown. Tourism officials and stakeholders were gathered to welcome the guests to Spitestown before they visited tourist attractions in the northern parishes. Joining the welcoming party was Member of Parliament for St. Peter Colin Jordan, who says cruise liners making calls to Spitestown this season will help boost economic activity in that area.
We believe that visitors coming to the town, actually docking in the town and having the town as the base from which they explore makes a lot of sense. Much of the tourism attraction in Barbados is also in the north and east and northeast, and Spitestown provides a good base for that. So really to say that coming into Spitestown, having visitors come directly into the town will help to bring the additional life.
Emerald Sakara docked at the Bridgetown port on Saturday, where guests departed and others joined. The ship left the Bridgetown port around 5 a.m. and got to Spitestown 2 hours later. A tender vessel transported the visitors from the ship to the jetty. Chief Executive Officer at Foster & Ince Cruise Services, Martin says, for many years his company has been promoting Spitestown as a secondary stop for cruise ships visiting Barbados.
It's very heartwarming to see. You know, in the cruise industry, we work very hard every single day, and for Spitestown, it's special. Spitestown has a magic to it, and what I think is important, certainly from my standpoint, is to ensure that the people of Spitestown and the surrounding areas actually benefit from the ship actually coming in here.
Tour guide with Foster & Ince, Anthea Williams, says she is happy to see a cruise vessel docked in Spitestown.
This is really history, and I am really pleased because this is my second home. I went to school in Speightstown all of my life, and I am what you call a Speightstonian. And to have cruise tourism return to Speightstown, that is fantastic.
Visitor Barbara Vies, who is among the touring party, says it is exciting to be a part of history.
I want to see what Barbados is all about. And it was really nice to have the steel drum band welcoming us too. That was really sweet.
The yacht has a carrying capacity of 100 passengers. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Barbados Prime Minister Mia Motley has been listed as one of the world's most powerful women, according to the influential Forbes magazine. She featured in the magazine's top 100 for this year. It listed among her achievements the fact that Ms. Motley became the island's first female leader when she was sworn in back in 2018. Additionally, Forbes says Prime Minister Motley has become a global leader on the issue of climate change, noting that in 2021 she issued an impassioned speech to the UN General Assembly calling for action. Later that year, the UN Environment Programme named her a champion of the earth for policy leadership. Forbes also points out that under Ms. Motley's leadership, Barbados officially became a parliamentary republic in November 2021, removing the Queen of England as its head of state. Prime Minister Motley has also listed on Forbes' inaugural sustainability leaders this year. In May 2022, Motley was featured on the cover of Time magazine, the first Barbadian to do so, and was named among the 100 most influential people of that year in recognition of her outspoken advocacy for addressing climate change. From humble beginnings to executive chef and now owner of the newest restaurant in Barbados, Alfredo Batson says the opening of the Rum Stop restaurant located at Time Out Hotel in St. Lawrence Gap, Christchurch, grew from a passion and a dream that finally came true. The restaurant, promising ultimate food, music, and rum-fused experiences every week, is a partnership and was also formed with an international brand of spirits from Kansas City that will be exclusive to the Rum Stop.
To get all of this into one, starting years ago, from humble beginnings in Chapman Lane with my mom and her restaurant in Tudor Street, and working my way up for the last 35 years to 40. It's a dream to be able to just officially come here, put my spin on what I always wanted to do, as in creating something that could also give back to the locals while exposing our true local culture internationally. And with that in mind is when I came up with this concept of making local Bajan rum and then placing it in food so that the world could know now that you don't only have to drink rum.
In sports, West Indies lost last night opening T20 International against Bangladesh in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Windies sent in Bangladesh to bat at Arnisvale Ground and kept them to 147 for 6. Sumair Sarkar top scored with 43. That included 2 4s and 3 6s, while Akil Hussain took 2 for 13 and Obed McCoy 2 for 30. In reply, the Windies made 140 in 19.5 overs to lose by 7 runs. Skipper Rovman Powell had the top score of 60. That included 5 4s and 4 6s. Player of the match, off-spinner Hassan, took 4 for 13. The second match in the 3-match series is tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening, again in St. Vincent, and will be live on MCTV's ESPN Channel 308 and Radio 94.7 FM. Meanwhile, West Indies all-rounder Deandra Doughton scored a quick-fire half-century, but it was in vain, as hosts India won the first T20 by 49 runs yesterday in Mumbai. Chasing 196 for Windies were held to 146 for 7 in their 20 overs. Dotton scored 52, while Kiana Joseph was dismissed for 49. The medium pacer Titus Sadhu was the pick of the bowlers with 3 for 37. Earlier sent into bat, India posted a very competitive 195 for 4 off their 20 overs. Jeremiah Rodriguez powered the innings with 73 and opener Mahandan 54. And that is a look at the sports. We have some highlights from that match for you.
Full toss, waist high.
Enjoy this segment a little bit too much. Yes. All right. It's win with the compliments of Standard Distribution and powered by Flow. I will ask you a very Very simple question. It's easy. I think I've not looked yet, but I'm sure it's going to be simple. I don't write the questions, people. All you have to do is call me up on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Answer the question and you can win big. We have some entertainment bundles, some really nice pieces that are from standard distribution on Wildy. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to head on in for their Sunday shopping, but you should. I had a fantastic time yesterday. I think too good a time. I was the last person to leave when they closed at 8. Not to mention that on Friday, instead of the regular Friday, the 13th, Black Friday, they called it a White Friday sale. So there were lots and lots of sales going on. Of course, make sure you make Flow your choice all this season as well to stay connected, of course. So here are a few of the things that you can win. Of course, there will be various iterations from which to choose. So once we liaise with you, you won't necessarily all get the same color vase, but we have different shades and colors that I will permit you to choose. Only because I know that, you know, if somebody gave me a vase, I'd probably regift it if it didn't necessarily suit what was going on in my house. So you have that option. How cool is it at standard? All right. So we are going to head to the telephone line. Let me go ahead and pose you this question, which is a very simple question. So let's go. What's the best-selling Christmas movie of all time? Have you been watching Christmas movies? I sure am guilty. I was watching one last night, and I watched The Grinch a few nights ago again for maybe the 50th time, but I'm that girl. I like watching movies. I'm sentimental like that. And I'll watch it over and over again. No problems with that. So what's the best-selling Christmas movie of all time? And heads up, I don't think it was made here in Barbados, all right? So you have ample time to be able to go on and Google and see what's happening. But call us up. I know all of the little ones are at home, so you don't have to rush out into that traffic to try to get out earlier. The traffic should be a little lighter this morning if everybody's not heading out to get the children out. Some people might be taking them to lessons for the holiday, over to camp and stuff like that as well. But it should be a little easier on the road, and you should be sleeping in for some of you, certainly my little viewers. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Juanita. I'm calling from St. James.
Oh, we have the same name.
We do.
That's my name too.
Oh, good people.
If you're born in December at all, we must be sisters.
Well, February.
No, that's not close enough, but that's okay. I like February too. That's
There
the
you
month of
go.
love. How about that? All
There
right.
you go.
So
There you go.
do you have the answer to this question? What's the best-selling Christmas movie of all time?
Well, for me, I would say, I don't know for others, but for me, I would say Home Alone.
Home Alone. That's not the answer, but I loved Home Alone. Saying to a friend this weekend, you know, that Macaulay Culkin is now a man in his 40s. So
Yes.
that kind of ages us like way up there. But that definitely is one of those movies that you want to introduce a brand new generation to. That's not the answer though.
But that's okay.
If you
So
want to
you
give
have a
it,
great
if you want to give it another go, I mentioned it in spiel.
Well, actually, I dialed and walked away, so probably I missed it. So
All
somebody
right.
else will get the chance.
No problem. You have a great day today. You're getting
And
out
you,
and doing
and all
some
the best for the
shopping.
holidays.
And to you too.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. She sounds like she's heading out to shop. My kind of girly. All right. Next caller is on the line. Good morning to you. Welcome. Hello. Press the button, Dawn. Dawn is the person at the back now. She's working today. All right.
Hi,
So welcome.
good morning.
Good morning. You have to listen to your telephone and not your television, or you're going to get a little confused. They have a delay on so that if I cuss, they can cut it out. Or you. All right. So do you have the answer to the question? What's the best-selling Christmas movie of all time?
A Christmas Carol?
A Christmas Carol? Who was that with?
Scrooge?
Come. The guys are horrible. That must be Ruel doing it. He is mean as ever. All right, 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Again, this is the Jingle All the Way and Win competition. And we're offering you some great prizes from Standard Distribution. We are going to make sure that you can win a prize right up until the end of the year, because there's so many people who say, I never get a gift for Christmas. So you can rest assured that Morning Barbados will make sure you get a gift as long as you have the right answer. The phone line, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Sabrina, calling from St. Michael.
Hey, Sabrina.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Did you go on Google? Girl, if you don't get this right.
For 2018?
Yes, you're close on the year.
The Grinch.
It is. Dr. Seuss is The Grinch. Absolutely. You are so right. Have you watched it?
I actually started, but I didn't finish, but it was going well.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is my all-time favorite comedic actor of all time. From back in the days of In Living Color. He just is a phenomenal guy. And so are you. Congratulations. You've won. All you have to do is pick a number 1 or 3. And it determines whether you're going to get this laptop cooling stand and pad, or you're going to get some vases. Our guys in studio like to call them urns. Let me tell you what I did with mine, though.
Okay.
Really beautiful one. And I got a nice floral arrangement. Put it in here. It's gorgeous on my center table. So you can do lots and lots with them. And then, of course, some nice pieces for entertaining. All different type of glassware and so on available. So can't see that in there. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3.
We will go with 3.
Oh, this is 2. This is 1. This is 3. So you walk away with the cooling fan. Congratulations. And thanks for participating in the Jingle All the Way and Win competition. Have a great day today. Any plans to go out shopping?
Yes, later this week.
All right. Maybe I'll see you around, Miss St. Michael.
You too. All right.
All right. Don't hang up. It's going to take your information in the back so that I can call you back and get everything organized. Remember, this Jingle All the Way and Win competition daily right here on Morning Barbados is powered by Flow and brought to you with the compliments of Standard Distribution on Wildy, where quality is a lifestyle. 20 minutes after 7. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise. When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
On Friday.
Excellent.
Okay, celebrating with us. So you see that we've grown and we're celebrating with our community. We're giving back to our community, and we want to invite you to our Customer Appreciation Day. And it's our way to give back to, as we do every year. And yes, there will be discounts in store. We'll have ice cream as well. After all, what's a birthday without ice cream, yeah? And it's gluten-free, cholesterol-free, free popcorn as well too, because I've been mentioning that to some persons and they can't wait. Children are on holiday, as we know. Give them something to do. Bring them along with you, all right? And we want to let persons know that there's going to be John Yard, who's joining us this year. So bring your friends and family, as well as to enjoy a Caribbean Christmas party with us at Amaze. Just in case you don't know where it's located, we're up there, Oystins, all right? And you're going to see the Argentine dancing man up there. You'll see our saxophonist, Kofi Jilt. So you'll see Kean Walters saying, I am amazed. And if you can sing along, come along as well, too. Krista J. Paul will be in there as well, too. So we know, and I'm inviting everybody. I'm inviting Tisha as well to come along and maybe sing a song with us as well at Amaze,
You might be amazed to hear me sing a song. I like to listen.
So, all right, so let's make a deal then. But on this Friday especially will be the day that we celebrate that pop-up, that big sale, that big anniversary. Of course, it will continue into January, but Friday, this Friday, the 20th of December, 9 a.m., I'm looking for every single one of you. And I just want to make sure I highlight that we're going to have some samples, new samples happening this year. We'll be including the Diabetic Health Mix drink. And we've got some requests for the Pelog from last year, the people who did it. They said, yes, we're going to come back and we got some hot fish cakes as well. So we get some Barbadiana inside of there and some free fruits and vegetables because we got to keep it healthy. And we will be also checking your cholesterol, your blood sugar. Our nurses will be on site to also take your blood pressure and those sorts of things. And we want to let you know that in case you have to get to work, you have to be at work, come after work. We'll be there till 8 o'clock in the evening, yeah? So you don't have to worry. We will be there.
Okay, what time are you starting?
We start at 9 a.m. And go all the way till 8 p.m., all right? So no pressure, but we know that Barbadians have already started to call us at 420-7809. They've checked out our website, www.atamaze.com. And we're also on TikTok, we're also on YouTube, we're also on Facebook, and we're also on Amazon. So if you want to tell your friends anywhere else that they can benefit, yes. come to Amaze.
So it definitely is a give back. You talked about free gifts and fruits and vegetables. You talked about free health checks, blood sugar checks, blood pressure, cholesterol, breast screenings.
Correct.
As well, this must have taken quite an effort to get all of these partners together for this big celebration.
And you know, our partners look forward to coming back with us each year, and that's why we're so excited, because it shows that the relationship has grown, and we want to encourage that relationship along with our customers as well, to say, hey, come and get your arginine, your TIG10. And I know you spoke earlier about the mosquitoes and the sandflies and those sorts of things. We have patches for those that you just stick them up this place, that place, and that act as barriers to reduce that, the Oropouche and the spread there. We have a little something inside of there too, right? So you can stick those around the place, because this is flu season, this is cold season, this is cough season, but this is also celebratory season. How do you feel when you home, cover up and, no, come along, put up, and come to the anniversary sale, okay? Everything in store. I've checked it out to make sure that we have it. We have stuff for children, we have stuff for pets, we have stuff for adults, we have stuff for friends, we have stuff for people overseas. They say, listen, I coming in so-and-so, hold the TIG10 for me, hold the cholesterol thing for me. Joint care, because when you're lifting all those heavy bags at the end of the day and your elbows hurting and your knees hurting, we have something for you. When your camera guy is ready to lift up these camera equipment and we have something to help them at the end of the day.
Good stuff. Now, you talked about these sales.
Yeah.
And I know it is your 14th.
14th
Are we going to get discounts close to that range?
We're at the 20% discount.
Oh, that is sounding good.
20%.
So all across the store.
All across, from the little mint all the way up to the tents that we have and the Christmas lights and all the decoration. And even if you have a little Christmas gift exchange happening at work, 20% discount. So that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely. What would you say are some of the quickest moving items? Because I think you've come to be known at Amaze for the products that help people in terms of health.
Yeah, of course, yes, the arginine has been moving quickly, and we have it in stock. We also have prostate care for the gentlemen who we realize are being checking their prostate and see if there's a spike or if there's swollen prostate, such like. Yes, we have those, and persons are starting to take care of themselves. And for ladies who have their therapy after breast cancer and that sort of thing, treatment, we also have those persons have started to take care of themselves. We have them at Amaze, all right? We also have persons who have like indigestion or want to lose a little, something, or want to look the part. Yes, we have all of those, and they're organic. All right, so it's not that you say, oh, is this going to make me feel nauseous, or if this going to make... Even hair oils, skin oils, things that make you say, wow, man, help your palate, so that, sometimes you feel like eating something, but then you take our oils and such like and add it into the food get new little inside of there, rather than adding salt all the time. So
and speaking of the food, I have never heard anybody talk about having pilau requested at an event. This pilau must have been something.
Listen, the line for the pilau last time, so much so that the persons have called in and come in and says, are you going to have those guys there again this year? We are coming. So we had no choice but to ensure that the lady doing her pilau is there, right? And yes, we're going to have enough for you, so when you come through, it'll be there.
What does it mean for you to be able to reach this milestone? Because 14 years in business, as a small business and a growing business, is no easy feat.
Yeah, we're giving thanks and praise, because especially going through the challenges of COVID and that sort of period, persons have come out and supported us, and we know that a lot of persons could not make it, and therefore the relationship between ourselves and our customer is critical, and that is one thing that why we're giving back, to say thank you. thank you. We appreciate your support.
And of course, there's one other person or thing that we are looking forward to is the tall Argentine dancing man. Will he be there?
He will be there. You can't miss him at all. All right? And he'll show you how to dance, you know, how to enjoy your Christmas, how to be celebratory and that sort of thing. All right? So you can't miss the Argentine dancing man. He will be there. In fact, some people say I like to look at him when he's dancing because he seems to be dancing to the steel band music that we have over there as well.
All right, so it's the Amaze 14th anniversary celebration and customer appreciation coming up this Friday.
This Friday.
It's 12 and 13 Harvest Plaza Oystins in Christchurch. You can find them online. Everything is at Amaze. To be able to find them. There will be free gifts, free fruit and vegetables, health checks, blood pressure checks, cholesterol, breast screenings, free refreshments, and of course entertainment. DJ Wendell Weeks, Kingdom Vibes, Carols on Pan, Pastor John Yard is going to be there, saxophonist Kofi Jilts, Kean Walters, Krista J. Paul, the Amaze Dancing RG Man will be there. He definitely is going to bring me out. Worship dancers, Smiley snow cones, dairy-free ice cream, lollies, and a whole lot more. But most importantly, you get 20% off store-wide. Congratulations. Happy anniversary, Amaze. We'll see you on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, time for another break. Coming up, we're going to be joined on set by Anthony Jordan. He's going to talk to us about his journey as an interior decorator, and he's also going to give us some tips so we will be the talk of the neighborhood with those beautiful wreaths. If you have a banister as well or a stairwell and you want to do something fancy, he's going to nice it up for us. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the
3 to go before 8 o'clock. I'm joined by a familiar face. I'm sure you know him as well. Anthony Jordan is a decorator. I think that's just one title. So good morning and welcome to Morning Barbados.
Good morning and blessings to everyone in Barbados. And Tricia, it's good. Thank you for having me this morning. I just know I'm not really a name person, but
you have called me Tricia for the whole time you know me.
All these
but that's
years.
okay because my sisters call me Tish, so that's a-okay. We had this conversation up to last
night on the phone. Remember?
That's okay. Tell me how you got into decorating, Anthony.
Well, from a young age, since about 17 years old, I got the flair from my mom. May she rest in peace. So I continue, and I mostly self-taught myself everything that I do. And the vision comes from my mind. I traveled to New York when I was about 18, 19, and I did the New York School of Decorating, and I got my honors in that one. And over the years, I have sealed myself, and as I said, it's always a mind thing in my mind. Because when I go on a job, I don't even go with a concept in my head. I just go and just do it. But a client that want a specific concept, I do it. But going on a job to make someone happy for Christmas, doing a wreath or a tree or a garland, I go with my concept, my mind just to say, wow, it's nice, Anthony.
Okay, so is it just for Christmas and around this time of year, or do you do around the year?
I do around the year stuff, weddings, events, corporate events, parties. Once you give me the task, I'll do it.
All right, good stuff. But you love Christmas.
And Christmas is my thing.
All right, so just like me, you love
Christmas.
So let's talk a little bit about that love for Christmas. Did that come from your late mom? Because I know you say you got that from her. What was Christmas like that it kind of grew this love for decorating?
You don't know what it really is. Every year, my mom used to make sure that we go and pick a cherry tree. Every Christmas, every November. It has to dry properly. Then me and my younger brother would paint it in white paint. When it's painted, we have to put it in a paint bucket and everything. We have to decorate it, lit it up, and it has to go in the house on December 1st. My mother was always a person that always very particular when it comes to Christmas in her house. She put her new curtains, she decorated. So me and my younger brother always to be under her doing these things. So that how I learned, he's a tailor, I'm a decorator. So both of us had that from the beginning. So I grabbed all from her, and she was working in the hotel industry and making the guests of Barbados happy and doing her stuff for the hotel. So I catch on from her. My mom taught me, and I taught myself along the way.
That's beautiful. What do you prefer, or is there preference? Modern or traditional? Residential or business? Do you have a preference?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Personal. I prefer the more, personal, modern, one-on-one. Yeah, one-on-one. Because doing other what you just said is kind of cool, but then you have to please the corporate more than you please the person at home. Because the corporate always see things that you don't see. And they will come back and say this and that. So I have to make sure that the corporate's always pleased, but the home personal aspect of my decorations, that's my piece. Making families come to the house and, wow, it's nice, it's different. They were here last night.
That must be a really great feeling when you can decorate a home for someone and they're simply, pardon the pun from the last segment, amazed at what they see.
Good for you to say that. I have a very special client. I cannot call his name on set. But when he comes to Barbados every year, he is so surprised at his villa. He said, wow, this is fantastic.
Is it Simon Cowell?
Oh, shoot. I didn't say that. Where were we? I didn't say that.
I know you didn't, but I know
Okay.
things. All right, so I'm allowed.
Okay.
So I know that you've done a lot of work and you brought some of it to share with us.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you kind of go into it eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Or eyes wide shut.
Wide shut.
And you just go with
Yeah,
what's there.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
bring in the decor? Or do you encourage the homeowners? Because, we build up a lot of stuff through the years. So
Yes,
what
we
we
do.
want to do with you today is kind of be
Good question.
thrifty.
Good question you asked me. But most of the, I do bring stuff in, but not on a big level, only if the client needs it. But mostly my shopping is done. I support the local people in Barbados, people such as Tasha's Wonderland, and they have a selection of whole kind of stuff there, decorations, art, craft, name it, at Tasha's Wonderland. And but as I said, I do bring stuff in once the client needs it. I'll bring it for the client. But I mostly shop local for the clients in Barbados. I support local.
All right, good stuff. Tell me about these trees that you've decorated, particularly for this season.
Well, I've seen some last time. I hope you've seen them.
Absolutely. We're going to share them now with the audience.
The first one, well, this one here you see it on screen. That's a West Coast villa, one of my dearest clients. That's on her patio.
Yeah, tell us about the color schemes.
The
that
color
you're going
scheme
with
there,
this
this color scheme there is we are using the silver, white, and we have blue in between, but mostly silver, white.
Very soft
Very
blue.
soft blue is in between there. The client does not like too much overpowering on her tree.
Okay, this is at the airport.
This is at the airport now. This year's
And this tree is gorgeous. If you've not seen it, take
you have
your
to
little
see
ones
it.
over.
You
go
have
take
to
some
see
photos.
it. It's awesome.
How long did it take you to do this tree,
This tree
Anthony?
is 3 days of work. And one day we have to fluff this big, humongous tree. Because I'm a kind of person, I'm a decorator, actually, sorry, that does not like to see unfluffed things.
Okay, so you have to fluff it. What about this one? This is a little
This
different.
is a personal friend of mine's house on the West Coast as well, too. And she loved these colors, so I had to give her back what she wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, and her curtains and it's going to
Everything
those same
matched back. This
same
one,
same
gorgeous.
house I had on the West Coast as well too. This one is more giving you more blue, royal blue, powerful in the middle there with the white cascading, the flowers, the
So
silver.
people are using different colors.
Yes.
They're not necessarily going, because I know usually from year to year you hear, oh, it's red this year, it's green.
Yeah.
Look at this one. This is like Carnival.
This is at the airport office.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what they like. They like festive things, so I bring them up. Yeah, the office is a very festive office, so I just get them these bright colors, it's red and gold, and the blue in the background. And the tree is lit with multicolored lights on, not white, multicolored lights on the tree, multicolors. So that will give it this more festive look of the tree.
All right, that's gorgeous. So I told you that we wanted to, for people who don't necessarily or who can't go out and they might not be able to afford you, Anthony, we're going to make sure they can afford you today on Morning Barbados because you've brought a few things along, and I'm going to roll up my sleeves even more. And we're going to kind of get in there, and you're going to show us how to pull together a really beautiful wreath.
And garlands,
and then some beautiful garlands as well.
And you said about affording me. Anyone can afford me. I work with my clients.
Well, that's good to know.
I work with
Maybe
my
I won't have
clients,
to roll up my
against
sleeves
clients.
after all.
I work, if you are a local person, business organization, I work with you, and I work with your budget.
All right, so coming up, I'm going to get you the in with Anthony. We're going to be making a nice wreath, and somebody is going to get a chance to win it. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories at
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. So we have in front of us quite a few things. And looking at, I see a board. Did you pull this together? Tell me how it went.
Basically, hold the ribbon in your hands. It's very simple. You put it together, however you want your board done, and you use your wires. This is my way of making my boards, yeah? Very flossy, put together, and you form it, and you wrap your wire.
And that's it.
That's it right there.
So this can be used for the tree to help
Anywhere you
build
want
up the tree wherever you want it to go.
Yeah. So that
was
goes,
simple.
yeah.
What you did is you used contrasting
colors to go with it.
So that's what makes the difference. You
Yeah.
also have some of these flowers. I know Barbadians go around a lot and they buy these. They're
Oh my
gorgeous,
God.
all types of colors.
And there's a way to fluff flowers as well too.
Okay.
Sure, you can start with me. You pull the big ones out first,
Okay.
like that. Put your hands under here, like that, to hold the firm.
Oh,
when
so they don't go too far down.
So when you begin to fluff, it has a formation of your hands when you finish fluff the flowers like this.
Okay.
So you form it properly. Yeah, perfect. Like that.
Okay.
Sorry. And there you have it.
All right, good
So
stuff.
pull yours out. Yeah, properly. Pull it up some more. You got to bend it.
Look at how good his
Look
looks.
at that one.
But this is experience. So I can see how it kind of is shaped.
It's
by
pretty
your-
easy,
But you have
actually.
the general idea.
Yeah, general idea.
You went with reds and blues to go with the greens.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have necessarily gone with that, but they look so beautiful together.
Mhm.
And then, some golds in between.
Yeah.
So we are going to continue.
Mhm.
What we're going to do is kind of build this out. And this is, where would this be suitable for?
This can be suitable for your banister.
Okay.
It can be suitable.
So let's-
It's a swag. Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's a swag. Yeah. Can be
So
suitable.
beautiful for
you
the
can either have it
banister.
straight away,
Mhm.
or you can bend. You can arch it like this
Mhm.
and put it up.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
definitely beautiful. With the bow in the center.
Yeah. Mhm. Or in
Love
front
it,
of
love it, love it.
We would say in front of your fireplace, but your fake fireplace.
Right, so you can just definitely just go
With
with
this.
whatever you like, whatever
Yeah,
suits
yeah.
you.
And your colors are very important. You have to make sure you're matching your colors as well too, yeah?
All right, good stuff. So we're going to continue working, and there's also a wreath here.
Right.
But Anthony is going to work on showing us how we can pull together. He has his hot glue gun, but right now we're going to, as a part of the Money Smart Digital Financial Literacy Program that was launched back in March, the focus has been on the topic of financial fraud. You've heard a lot about that. Investment scams and other types of financial fraud are definitely on the rise here in Barbados and all across the region, and they've been affecting people from all walks of life. The Central Bank of Barbados, through their Money Smart Investment Scams Program, they're hoping that they can put you in a better position so you don't fall victim.
Central Bank encourages you to have money management and comprehend how to make investments and secure your finances.
Welcome to the final program in this series by the Central Bank of Barbados on identifying and avoiding investment scams. Today we hear from Dr. Kevin Greenwich, Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, who has some advice for Barbadians.
No one is immune from being targeted, so to speak, at any level. And so you have to be a little careful. But generally, given the increased digitization, innovation, etc., persons are getting very smart and very crafty. Some things you need to look out for. And this is me speaking now as Kevin. entrepreneurship. One, if somebody asks you to put money up front for a job or something, usually that's an indication, a red flag. That's a big red flag. When we at Central Bank go employ persons, imagine you going to Massey or one of them, you say you want a job. Or when you start your job as a journalist, do you have to pay a month's salary? Imagine you employ someone and say, look, come and work for me, but first to make sure you're really serious about working for me, pay a month's salary. Red flag. Okay? Good. That's one. I can give you 3 to start looking for. Number 2, anything that requires you to refer and bring people, usually that is associated with pyramid or Ponzi scheme. The person you bring, pay for the next person, pay for the next person. It ends when the body is coming in. That's usually a red flag. Okay? Number 3, anything that promises you an excessive high return for doing very little of anything is usually a Ponzi scheme. If it was so high, everybody winning, it would be necessarily winning, if that's such a term. Anything that promises to pay you above the market is usually high risk. And more invariably, it's not really real. You know, the people say if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. 3 of them I'm telling you. 1, where you gotta pay a deposit, that's smelling fishy. That is a duck. When you gotta bring people, the duck quacking really loud. And when it reach high returns, now that's a really big duck. Okay? Avoid them. Apply hard to raise them. And generally, overarching thing is they no quick rich, they no get rich schemes around the place, you know. Usually persons that purport and give you get rich schemes is actually using to get rich. Using you to get rich. You ain't getting rich, I can guarantee you that. Investment is a patient business. Whether you invest in real estate, whether you invest in your education, whether you invest in bonds which give you a long period and a reasonable return, whether you invest in stock market, investment is a patient thing. Okay? They're not get rich thing. If it's get rich, then I'm very rich. So you want persons to be savvy, financially savvy, ask questions, research who bring it to you. All right? Don't go and ask people who they tell you to ask. Okay? And from the central bank point of view, we do not endorse anybody for any form or fashion. If an institution, financial company or bank wants to set up, there is a process which they apply to the central bank. They must have a company on the license on the Company Act through KIPO, and we do a rigorous thing. And when you know it happened, is when you still establish. I ain't giving no letter. There's nothing like that. So anybody using central bank name and endorsement, either explicitly or implicitly trying to pull wool over your eye. You want to get money? The principle of the mustard seed exists. You know the parable of the mustard seed? It doesn't matter what you got, how much you got. You can get bonds at 500 minimum. You can take me, you, 3 of us, and we prove that we got more than we want. We approach a bank and say, look, I have an idea to build a chicken coop. I got $10,000 to trade with. We form a little company. Can we go in the chicken business? It's too often persons say, man, I got enough, I can wait. No. Ain't about trust. You can form a legal contract between a couple of people and invest. So if you have some money to put down, and you have already put your emergency money in the bank, the emergency cash will send you there 3 to 4 months, right? And you know they're going to invest. Look for solid investment. Diversify your portfolio. Buy some bonds. If you could do with some person start their business or they're investing in real estate, you can invest in a company that invests in something, right? And diversify your portfolio, right? And if you got a little bit of money extra to throw away, you want to try it, think twice. That would be my advice. That's how I look at it. Barbados, be aware. There are a lot of people looking to take the change out of your pocket. the all kind of fancy terms and jargon. 3 rifle eyes I mentioned. And if it look good up, and it quack good up, there's a duck. If it's too good to be true, it ain't true.
Thank you for your advice, Governor Greenwich, and thank you for tuning in. This series was brought to you by Money Smart, the Central Bank of Barbados' digital financial literacy program. We invite you to log on to www.centralbank.org.bb and the bank's social media channels for more information on how you can secure your finances.
All right, I certainly hope you were taking heed of that because we don't want you to fall victim to any scams. Thanks so much to the Central Bank of Barbados for sharing. And while we went off on that message, Anthony has certainly been working. I know you can see a drastic difference in terms of the presentation. Let's just lift this one so that you can see how beautiful is that. He added some ribbons. This is gorgeous, and just did it with ease. It's a matter of just bringing things together.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to break the bank to be able to make the house look nice. If you can't afford a Christmas tree, buy a piece of garland and these pieces. I don't think it can run you more than $50. $100 will get you something beautiful, especially if you have kids. Where are we putting these ones?
Well, this one goes into to just highlight the garland now. So you find areas where you can highlight the garland. You push them in. Trisha, put one. You could go there.
Here.
Your choice.
Close to the red.
Goes to the red, yeah.
Okay.
Goes to the red, right there.
Goes in here.
Right.
And how do you secure it? Do you wrap?
You go in, like this. Go in, the garland, wrap.
Okay, so you're just wrapping the garland around it to secure.
To secure it, and make sure you don't do that. You always fluff back. The whole thing is fluffing back where your hands touch.
All right, that's beautiful. And finally, you did this wreath.
Yeah, this wreath.
How long did it take you to pull this together, Anthony?
You want to guess?
I don't know.
No, I want you to guess.
An hour?
No, this is a half hour.
Half hour. That is so beautiful.
See, once you have a concept in your mind, you go ahead. Half hour.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to share more of what was happening behind the scenes while Anthony was here. And some lucky viewer will get a chance to win this gorgeous wreath. Compliments of Anthony. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us on Morning Barbados. We want to make sure that your homes look awesome for the Christmas season, and you don't necessarily have to break the bank, particularly if you have the little ones. Hey, that's it from us for today. Season's greetings. Remember, Morning Barbados is brought to you with the compliments of Jordan Supermarket. On behalf of the entire crew, we'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.